Hi guys, my name is JD Fears. Welcome back for another reaction video. Today we are reacting to My Crazy Theater Teacher by L.M.E.Studios. Now I love her videos. They're really funny. I think I think what I like is that they have no mouths, but like it makes it better because you can still understand their expressions. But yeah, I think I used to be in theater once, that Romeo and Juliet. They need to come up with, people need to like come up with new plays. But subscribe, like, and comment to Let Me Explain Studios and myself. Yeah, let's get right into the video.
Some of you understand what you're about to get into. In 3 of my videos, I have mentioned a certain teacher of mine, a certain mentally unstable, vindictive teacher.
I know, right?
Given that one of those videos has over 7 million views at the moment, people are getting a little curious about this infamous educator from my past. Well, gird thy loins, explainers and entertainers! Because we're finally talking about it, here we go. This is the story of my emotionally abusive high school theater teacher. Now, because it is theater, I know I run the risk of sounding like a crybaby, whining over their teacher not giving them the lead part in the play, and trust me, I completely understand people like that exist.
I
I've
understood
been in
that
theater a
too,
long
but
time.
I didn't
But I'd
really
like to
care. I
think
just
that this
wanted a
story
part.
has more to do with me being in an unhealthy authority figure relationship. I'm not a martyr here, I guarantee others have had it far worse, but this woman did her damage. We'll call her Medusa, and fun fact number 1, that was her actual nickname, and she wore it like a freaking badge of honor. No joke, she put up a sign on the backstage door that said, "Keep out, beware
Oh
Medusa."
God.
Boy, that should have been a warning in more ways than one. Okay, so I met Medusa my first year of high school. She was the only teacher running the entire theater department, so no matter what type of theater class you took, she would be teaching it. She also
She's
ran the
there,
theater
she's
club and
here,
directed all
she's
the after-school
everywhere.
plays. All
Who's a
casting
friend?
decisions were left up to her.
Who's a friend?
You're catching
Fred?
my drift. She had a
Oh my
totalitarian
God.
grip on every
Alright.
aspect of this theater department. There was no other adult there to balance her out or, more importantly, witness her behavior. Now, for some context about who I was back then. In high school, I was remarkably shy, socially
That was
awkward,
me.
a goody two-shoes, a
Still
nervous
me.
wreck, and I didn't really have any friends,
I had a
even
lot
in
of
the theater
friends.
club. I was a
I was
doormat,
an
to put it
extrovert.
bluntly. But when I stepped onto a stage, I was a completely different person. I could
When I
be
played
strong and
games, I was a
brave,
totally different
confident and
person.
clever. I could show the world what I was made of. Performing was my release, my therapy. I guess that's why I didn't immediately take a powder when I learned how crazy this theater teacher was. I was holding out for that one big part, that one chance to show everyone what I could do. And pleasing this woman was the key to what I wanted. Yeah, that won't lead to anything bad, I'm sure. So what made Medusa so awful, I hear you asking? Well, for one, she was incredibly unpredictable. You never knew what kind of mood she was gonna be in or what was gonna set
There's
her
some
off.
light.
A joke she laughed at yesterday would offend her the next day. One day she's kind and supportive, the next day she's catty and vindictive. And because of her volatile nature, it was a
She's a
gamble
luck
anytime you
machine.
needed to ask her a question or ask for help.
God.
Sometimes she'd be decent
Oh
enough,
God.
and then sometimes she'd blow up in your face for wasting her time with a dumb question. Ask someone else. It would take
No.
me a stupid amount of
You're the
time
only
just to
person
work up the courage to ask
in
her
the
a
theater
question
that we
before
had to
chickening out and
ask.
finding a different way around my problem. Though I think one of the most frustrating things about Medusa was her favoritism. Plain and simple, if you weren't one of her favorites, there was a very low chance of you getting a big part in a play. Or sometimes a part at all. I'm not saying she was shallow. No, that's exactly what I'm saying, because all of her favorites had 2 things in common. They were pretty, and they were popular. 2 skills ya girl rolled a 0 on. Medusa also protected her favorites to an infuriating degree. One of them was a big bully of mine, and Medusa did absolutely nothing to stop it even after I begged her to step in. I was talking to my mom about this script, and she told me that she once confronted Medusa about this bully at an after-school play, and Medusa was more concerned about him getting in trouble than what he was
Well, dang,
doing
what's
to
wrong
me.
with you?
Ooh, that is a very brave thing to say to a protective mother. Correction, that is a very brave thing to say to my mother. So yeah, if you weren't one of her favorites, you were stuck in the chorus, as they say. Hey Becca, maybe you were just an awful actor. I mean, fair point. Maybe I just wasn't any good. Thing is, Medusa always gave me A's for my performances in
Oh,
the
then
theater
she just
classes
doesn't like
during
you
the normal
then.
school days. Medusa even once rushed up to the stage after a dark, dramatic scene to give me a hug because she was so moved by my performance. So, you see, I got mixed signals from this woman all the time. I didn't know what to think. Dang it, do you hate me or not? And this cat and mouse stringing me along emotional manipulation was what kept
Jump.
me hopeful. I'd think to myself, if I don't complain, if I do my best, if I do every little thing she asks of me, Maybe one day she will throw me a bone. Maybe one day I will gain her favor and be given a good part in a play. Hey, you hear that? That's not good. That is not a healthy mindset to be in. That is an unhealthy relationship to have with anyone. But that was the story for me for 3 years of high school. However, when senior year came,
Wait, isn't it the
something
other way,
happened.
like,
And let me
around?
just set this up for you.
Or am I wrong?
Once when I was a freshman, I asked Medusa why she didn't give me a part in the latest play, and she told me, "Seniors take precedence in casting because they're graduating." And I thought, okay, well, I guess that makes sense. When I'm a senior, I'll be a priority. Come senior year, pretty much all of her favorites had graduated, and the only
Dang,
two
looks
senior
like those
actors
two
left
left.
were me and this one other guy. In fact, a very large portion of the club had either graduated or left, so pickings were pretty slim that year for willing participants. Anyways, we were going to do the comedic play Noises Off. And in that show, there is a role called Dottie, meant for an older woman who needed a Cockney accent and had a boy-toy love interest. Hilarious. So naturally, being the oldest girl in the theater department, having a plump, middle-aged looking body, being able to do a pretty great Cockney accent,
Yeah, you should be able to
being
do
a
it.
senior meant that the stars were finally aligning in my favor. And the day before the audition, I was hanging out in the theater club room, and I told another student that I was hoping for the part of Dottie, and Medusa overheard. She looked right at me, smiled, nodded very obviously,
Nah,
and
I
gave
don't
me a big
trust her,
thumbs up.
especially with that
Gee,
hair.
Becca, it sounds like your chances of getting this part are pretty good. I know, right? That's what I thought too. But gosh golly darn it, call me M. Night Shyamalan
Gosh golly
because
darn
this
it,
story has a
what?
twist. I went to the audition, gave it everything I had, knocked it out of the park, was the only girl who could do a Cockney accent. But the next morning, Medusa posted the cast on the bulletin
Nah,
board,
you ain't in.
and nothing.
Shannon got it.
She
Dang
didn't
it, Shannon.
even cast me.
So,
Excuse me, Medusa. I was wondering, why didn't you cast me? Oh, it's because you were too tall.
and
Too tall? Yes, only short guys auditioned, and I needed your love interest to be taller than you. Funny thing about that excuse, she had cast the only senior as my love interest, and he was, in fact, taller than me. So yeah, she flat out lied to my face.
Oh, dang.
But because I think I was in shock, I didn't question it at that moment, and I just walked away. Turns out the truth eventually came out because a couple days later, some concerned tech theater girls told me they heard Medusa say something in passing conversation with the other students. The reason I didn't cast Becca is because she's not one of the group. She keeps to herself way too much and
Alright.
doesn't have any friends.
my baby brother trying to fight me.
She didn't cast me because I wasn't popular.
That makes no sense, bro. She's going crazy now.
That's it! I am done! I am out! Goodbye! I am over this insanity! You ain't dragging me down with you, sister. Peace, adios, sayonara, das vidania, bonsoir, and all those other different languages. Consider this my final bow because we are done here! Thanks for the memories. You'll make a great YouTube video
She's
someday.
done.
Bye-bye.
Forget you.
And I left. I left and went straight to my advisor to drop out of all of Medusa's classes, which my advisor was very happy to do for me when she learned which teacher I was trying to escape. Oh yeah, she's
I'm
crazy.
glad you're out.
Consider it done. I'll be honest, the situation was a little bit more complicated than just not being given the part that I wanted. There was so much more. But this video is long enough already. And let me tell you something, explainers and entertainers.
There's probably not going to
The
be any
moment I
editing in
left,
this.
I felt like a completely different person. My confidence shot through the roof, I was happier, I didn't care so much what people thought anymore. Heck, even guys
That's
were paying
good.
more attention to me. My choir director noticed the change and gave me the award for Most Improved Senior. I didn't even have to give up my love of theater because I went out and auditioned for community theater with adults. I even got a leading part in a musical that summer and won the Best Actress award for the show season at that particular theater. Everything had fallen into place for me, and all because I finally worked up the courage to say I deserve better and walk away from a toxic relationship. These situations don't always end like fairy tales, but for me, it did. So, what happened to Medusa? A couple years after I graduated, I remember hearing the news that she had been forced to resign. I can't be 100%
I mean, that
sure if
makes
this is the true
sense.
story, so take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt, but this was the story I was told. Medusa got incredibly intoxicated on an overnight competition trip with students, locked herself in the boys' hotel room,
Probably
and
passed
passed
out.
out on the bed,
Yep, I was
forcing the
right.
boys to sleep in the girls' room. Yeah, I mean, knowing her, that completely makes sense. When I first heard, I wasn't surprised in the slightest. I guess all I can say is, peace out, Medusa. Wherever you are these days, I hope you're in a better place mentally and emotionally. I mean that. Hey, at least she taught me that a bad situation in the past doesn't have to weigh you down. Because if I'm honest, I'm pretty sure it was my time spent with Medusa that taught me how to stand up to an even worse teacher later on down the line. So,
Good
that's the
job.
long and short of it, explainers and
Yep.
entertainers.
Hope y'all liked that video. This video was very long. Well, it wasn't really very long. It's like 10 minutes. But so there's probably not going to be edits. If there is, I'm going to be surprised. Um this was a really good video. I'm glad she like that teacher was able to get her like more confidence down the road. And yeah, subscribe, like, and comment to Let Me Explain Studios and myself. And yeah, goodbye, my fellow reactors.